So, I've been playing football since basically the age of 3 until I was about 20 years old. And it has been my biggest passion of my whole childhood, and at some point, really the only thing that kept me going. And obviously, as a child growing up, playing football, like with every other footballer, it was my dream to become professional and even like a world star. I'm sure under different circumstances I could have made it, but as you probably realize, I didn't. Now, in retrospect, the most important things that led to me not making it are pretty much these three things. First is I didn't have a personal coach. Like what I realized with most footballers that are good, I'm not only talking about like the world stars, but just people around me, is that they have a father or a personal coach that trains them and shows them how to do things. And that could even be like a bigger brother that just competes with you all the time. In fact, I was the older brother teaching my younger brother whenever I could, but he actually quit for the same reasons as I did. Now, the second thing why I didn't make it is I didn't have any confidence. I was confident in my ability, but I wasn't confident in playing because I wasn't really backed by anyone. I always felt like I was playing on my own. Maybe I had a friend of mine in my team, but my playing style was so different from others that I mostly just heard criticism and like people telling me I should do this or that instead of just me playing my game. Meaning, combined with the low confidence, it just didn't work out well. The third and most important thing are bad habits. Now, I believe when you have children, it's your responsibility to be an example to your children so your children can emulate you. Because there's a famous quote: children always fail to listen to their parents, but never fail to emulate them. So the things I learned obviously weren't good. I didn't have a sleeping schedule whatsoever. Sometimes I went to bed at 4 a.m. I even had like holidays where I would go to bed at 9:30 a.m. Think about it, a.m. And I would sleep until about 6 p.m. and then my day would start and I would just be on my laptop for the whole night and then go to bed again at like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. And my diet was like the worst out of all. I was never the fat kid, and the simple reason was because I was playing football. But what I was eating was like I only ate bad stuff, like from chips, chocolate, pizza, all the things that are junk food basically are the things that I was eating. Like me eating a salad was like rare. And also some other stuff that I won't mention in here, but let me just tell you, like it's connected to partying. And these things, they definitely don't help you perform better, especially when you're an athlete. Now, as 2022 came by, I started having pain in my groins. So pretty much the area that connects the legs to the upper body. These pains would grow bigger and bigger. At some point, I even started using painkillers just to be able to play. And when I realized I couldn't play for the whole 90 minutes, I told my coach to sub me in at the end of the game so I still could somehow play and somehow improve myself. If you know me personally, you know that I'm a very ambitious person and I've always been. And up until now, it led to more problems than it actually solved them. But now I'm slowly starting to realize that it was not an issue for me being ambitious, it was just not normal. I've talked about it in other videos and I will talk about it in the future definitely. Normal definitely does not mean right. Always remember that. At some point, I just had to stop. And after many doctor appointments, it was clear that I had a pubic bone inflammation. If you don't know anything about football, it's like one of the most popular injuries. And the probable cause for that was a bad posture, but I just realized that recently. And this posture developed over the whole of my childhood, which pretty much meant I had like asymmetric forces onto my groins, which just wouldn't work out long term. Like I could have done anything and rested for a whole year so the inflammation would go away. But if I would start again, I would just do the same forces again on my bad posture and it will result in the inflammation again. So, as ambitious as I am, I did pretty much anything to get back on the pitch. I even underwent surgery and I was like in a hospital for like 4 days and I couldn't walk for 2 weeks. And if you look back at my videos, I think the second video or even the first maybe, where I was just talking about the sense of my channel in German, you can still see me laying down there and like healing from my surgery. But no matter how much I tried, because I didn't realize the thing with the posture, 1 year passed, 2 years passed, and nothing changed. I tried to rest for a month, went back and had the same pain again. It just wouldn't go away. Pretty much around the same time, I got into self-improvement and like business. So in the back of my mind, as a child, I always wanted to like have more money. because where I grew up, where I am right now actually, is around very much wealth. I was always the one kid or inside of the one family that didn't have that wealth. The school I went to was a private school, and most of the kids, they have like rich families. That's basically it. And I was never one of them. I will definitely go deeper into this topic in the future, but that just meant I always wanted to know how to make that money, how to just live that life too. Looking back, I think it all started with a video that got recommended to me on YouTube by Iman Gaji. I think the title I still remember is something like 7 books that made me a millionaire at 21 maybe even. And it was him in Dubai in his office room, whatever, talking just about 7 books. And I started reading books, not all of them, but I just started reading books. And pretty much after that, Andrew Tate popped up. I also started getting into Wes Watson. If you don't know who Wes Watson is, I can highly recommend the guy. Like, the content he posted back in the day on YouTube was very valuable and really insightful as well. The more I got into business, the more I realized playing football will never get me where I want to be. Because if you look at footballers, most of the people who play football and they don't make it like in the top levels, but just in very good levels, they never make enough money to really make it to financial freedom, let's be honest. And at about 35 at best, they have to stop and find another way to make money. I just realized that is not the way for me. So I decided I will stop playing football and I will never start again. I might play for fun in the future, but in the next 10 years, like the next decade is dedicated to business, like fully, nothing else. I won't stop until I'm actually where I want to be. And the thing is about business, you're never actually there when you want to be, because there's always bigger levers. So I will probably do this for the rest of my life. Now, what I think about football is I believe it's the greatest sport for growing up. If you have children, or when I have children, I will probably send my kids to a football club if I am still here in Germany, because I think football has like all the ingredients you need also for business, and it is taught to you from a young age. So some of the things are hard work, discipline, focus for details and tactics, like really thinking about a plan and how to destroy your enemy by really putting systems in place, and also like working out and working on yourself. You really need to know like which areas of muscles you need to target and how you need to do the movements. Like, it's very detail oriented if you take it serious. You need quick decision making, and you have both teamwork and competition all in one. It's so much better as a child to have something like that you can take serious, opposed to just being at home watching Netflix, playing some games, not doing anything with friends, or if you're doing something with friends, just doing bullshit. I believe it's a very good thing to do. Now, what I took from football is that it is very important to have someone believe in you, especially when you're young. That's the number one thing I will look after when I have children, is that they know that I believe in them no matter what. Like, that's all they need to know. If they have somebody that believes in them, no matter what they want to do, in the back of their head is like, my father trusts me and believes in me, so I can do it. Another thing I learned is long periods of hard work can really have great results. And one example that stuck out to me was during the pandemic. Because I had nothing else to do, I was going for a run every 2 days for about 3 months. I think it was 3 months. In the next winter break, I was training with the senior guys, so they were something between, let's say, 25 and 35. In the running drills, I just bet every single one of them. I was the fastest, and I'm not supposed to be the fastest because the adult level, the senior level, is just so much more intense, but for some reason I did beat them all. Now, I don't know yet how I can make the best use of all the knowledge I gained in the more than 15 years of playing football. Maybe watching back this video in the future, you can see it within my businesses. Now, because I can't play football, but I'm a very active person when it comes to sports, I just recently started calisthenics. So about 6 months ago, I just started doing pull-ups and push-ups that were like where the feet were like up and not just on the floor, and also trying the L-sit. That's pretty much how I started. It's not even comparable to football in terms of fun, because football is just one of the most fun games or sports to do. Still, it is very good to keep the discipline up, to keep your body strong and also like aesthetic. Obviously, one thing that calisthenics lacks is endurance and like cardio. So in the future, I'm looking to add more cardio into my workout. So I have all of the boxes ticked and I'm still at the pretty much best capabilities of my body. Now, I want to know, did you do any sports growing up? If yes, what was it, and what was the biggest lesson or the biggest 2-3 lessons that you took from it that now helped you in your life, especially in business, to make progress, and they were just in general very helpful? Definitely let me know down in the comments. And that's pretty much why I stopped football and why I won't start again. If you enjoyed this video and this type of content, let me know by liking this video. And if you like my content in general, consider subscribing, because especially this year I will post every single day. There's still close to 300 days left. But also in the next 5 or 10 years, I won't stop posting. Only if YouTube doesn't exist anymore, then I can post. But other than that, I will be posting videos on YouTube. I'm sure there's a lot to learn from my journey and a lot valuable content coming to you in the future. So, thanks for watching and peace.